all got linked up. That's great. So we're just playing around and testing with our current setup. Oh, my favorite part of this song. Yeah. Cool. We're just playing around with the setup right now. Can I make this any quieter? It's on 1. I know for stream it might not be that loud currently, but for me it is ridiculous on these headphones. Can I turn off noise cancelling so I'm a bit less? There we go. My ears are a lot better. With noise cancelling on, it's yeah. Let's have a see. So we last left off when we were playing around with this page, and what we'd done is we grouped a lot of stuff in the HQ section. But we didn't stream that. I just realized I didn't stream that. But what I did do off stream is fix a few issues. Because in testing, it just didn't like the way. Let me close that for a minute. It didn't like the way it was set up. Now, if we were to go to, I already saw the bug there. No, hang on. Go in here. My brain is blank here, guys. Bear with me. Let's switch over to the widescreen, shall we? Okay. We don't need map scaler. We need. Here it is. They're all grouped events now. So instead of having those giant trees, for example, it's this, so it's state ID. They're all grouped into one thing called states. There you go. Single function, and single function. Now we do have an error. I saw them when I launched it. What I want to do first, real quick, is just add a experimental one where if I press key, just so I can mute it fast, make it M for the sake of argument. M is going to do the variable mute all toggle. Just going to make life a lot easier. So we're going to press M to mute all. I'm going to turn off the music in here actually. Right. That's so much easier. So we're seeing these here, it's because they haven't got bound to the group. But if you can see this, there's literally nothing, and it's perfectly synced to the second. Second you cross outside that box, you've got it. Granted, at certain zooms, you might get it a pixel earlier than the rest. It literally is a pixel difference, and I was debating fixing that, but I feel like I'm going to be too technical if I go that deep. So, right, so what we're going to deal with here now is there is a bug we can tell here, which is these are here. Now, in fairness, I think it's just because they're not in the list. So, it'll be because if I go into UI, I had to play around with this and I gave up with the way I was doing it and I made them like this. But instead of, oh, here we go. Bear with me a second. It would appear somehow we've gone backwards in progress. Am I right? Am I wrong? So that's all the new, you see there, I've done them 1 to 10 instead of doing them a single one and then place it 10 times. It really didn't like it for some reason. And I was playing around with it way too long and I decided old-fashioned way for now. And I'll worry about a better way in the future. They're here. That's great. I don't know, they mention in the show hide section. Which is probably not the case, which is probably where we're getting, yes, there's not listing it here. Which is already not good. So what I need to do then is get me a Notepad++ open. I'm going to plug my headphones because they're plugged in and it's really doing my head in with how it's scraping my side and making that stupid noise, which I got noise cancelling on, it was actually making it not hearable. I need all this, but I need to extract the names. In fact, I don't need all that. I can just grab that, throw it in Notepad, and just yoink out the names. So I do realize we don't have music on right now. Bear with me while I enter this part first. Oh, they're indented. Copied the indents too. That's being stupid. Oh, that's fine. There we go. Right, so what I need to do now, apologies I didn't actually show that, I do realize that, but it's in a very tiny window, is just drag, drop these into here. Oh, balls have come out. Into here. And then add commas because I'm an idiot. And in theory now, that should resolve that appearing there, yeah. Hey, look at that. I do realize you're not seeing these two. I feel like it could be a naming convention error, which is fine. Although it's not actually a convention error, it's because it's here, cost item. No, that's the button. Yeah, it's because they're here. I don't have numbers. This is why I did it this way, because it's so much easier. Okay. Okay. And then I'm a little confused because I did have, if we got missing here, item, info, cost, item. Already done them. Cool. Right. Okay. Just me being blind. If I go back in here, this is where it's going to get a little annoying, but I have a solution. This is where I would say, if I was doing a huge list, AI is useful. However, I'm not going to trust this to AI because I will spend longer on it than ever. Probably should, be honest with you, but the time it would take to log in. You know what? You know what? We're gonna. This makes it hell when I've got to do the theme declaration of if AI has been used, because it's like, yeah, it has been. How's it been used? Well, you see. If it understood that. Hey, it does. It's doing items though, and it's doing info. Okay, cool. AI is so more efficient. So what we're going to do, because I can see how it's writing it. Put that out. I'm going to put back some lines there, and it's done. Okay. And a space there. Cool. Preview. Press it twice, then back soon. That works. Wow. Oh, we got a new bug. Normally, if you press back from these menus, it's supposed to do that. So if I'm in here, it'll do that. But I've not made it so construct knows it's on construct. Back means go back to the empty lot part. That tiny bug. We'll make a note of it now, and then we'll proceed on to what we're doing next. And skip it because it's not something I need to worry about. It is literally a navigation issue. It used to be if you pressed ESC, to close this only. Whereas it now knows ESC means escape all. Okay, cool. And just to check, yeah, these no longer trigger it. And if we're in here, we can click these. That was a literal bug. You click this, it'd create a new shell of the item, and you get around it that way. Very tiny bug. Human error, really. Just human error on my part. Why do I suddenly feel so hungry? Jesus. You'd think I never ate my life. Sunday lamb. Hold on a second, let me just reply to that. I need to make sure that's actually done correctly. Sunday lamb with what? Something I can't pronounce that. Some fancy ass dish. That actually. Okay. Okay. Right. So what we're gonna do today is one, we're gonna get the stuff in here done, but two, I need to get this layer under these and also set it to hide them when the item doesn't have existence, I guess. So that is a legitimate thing. I need to first off find the Git directory for all this though, so do bear with me a moment because that is a legitimate problem here. Okay, so I could be wrong, and I'm not showing this on screen because it's a GitHub issue. And the last thing I need is some lunatic hacking the Git and getting all the code. In fact, it won't be too bad actually because the code isn't directly linked. Oops, I have not copied that correctly. Do that again. Right, so we're looking for, and I need to dig for this, so bear with me. We're looking for a specific directory, and I honestly don't know where it is. So the edit menu option controls the edit menu. Okay, wait, so I go back to preview 1 second. So that should mean this is triggering it. So we got to debug. It is indeed triggering it. And that should be controlling which one of the items seen. For example, resources has 4 options. So 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 would be invisible. Well, they're not because I'm physically staring at them. Right. Ah, no, 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 no. Yeah, cancel that. I know why. I already know why. Oh, do I know why? Wait. No, I don't. No, I don't. No, I don't. Pause. Pause. Yeah, I'm wrong. I'm wrong because it used to be this. I was on a loop IDs. Nope, it's not that. Okay. Maybe again. I don't know. I got to press mute so fucking fast. Okay. So. Wait, what's the code say? Let's get the code. I feel like this already exists, right? This shouldn't. Is it just that it's not working? Is it because I've not put the list in? I don't know. I'm not getting error saying the list doesn't exist, although it would just make the list, wouldn't it? JavaScript for crying out loud. Actually, that's a good question. I love how I pressed the new page on Opera and it just says page crashed instantly. It doesn't even like load anything. What was I going to search? Sorry. Script. This is in GDev. I'm looking for the documentation. Okay. If the list is non-existent, it should throw a reference error. I knew that much. If a list equals my list, yada yada yada. So theory, it should pop up on the startup and say, error. Somebody done goofed. Right, so we're gonna just copy paste, copy paste, copy paste, copy paste. And I've edit option 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, here's how we're gonna do it. I'm already hating this, but that's how we're gonna do it. Got these huge ass lists. Now we're gonna test this. We're gonna have option 1. I need to open the page. I need to see what the what's our items development planning edit abilities. For you, one for you, one for you. Okay, so it's 1 for you, 2 for you. I did just copy paste, bear in mind, guys. So just bear with. 1 for you. I want to make a copy of this. Okay, 1 for you. Preview. Should get an error though. I don't like we didn't get an error. I really don't like that. Now I'm fucking confused. And you know why I'm confused? That shouldn't have worked because I didn't link up the things. So what the hell is the debugger do? Debugger. I don't need a new preview. I just need the preview. Fresh preview. Scene variables. Control. How in God's name are you? Doesn't make sense. It really actually doesn't, because what's the lists are called 1, 2, 3, 4. I don't know how the fuck this works. Is the code already there that meshes them across? I actually don't know. It shouldn't be. Let's read. It does. It does. Oh. Wait. So if I delete the variable, am I going to get an error? I shouldn't, because I think it's in the code. I really think it's in the code. It is. The code has its own variable that's doing it. I just never realized. Oh, Jesus. Fuck my life. Oh wait, no shit. No. Temporary variable dot edit menu option. It's in a temp var. Ah, why are you in there? Makes no sense. Oh fuck my life. Okay, so it's a temporary variable. That's what it is. So we need to go to global add because it's making it itself regardless. Temp var, and it's storing it as a number. Okay. Because I thought, and I could be wrong, I thought this was what was doing it. It's not. I could actually disable this. Preview the game. I'm going to set it to default to be that for a while. This is still going to work, isn't it? Yeah. Right, okay, hang on. Toggle once. Toggle off. If I load this now, is it going to be instantaneous? Okay, put it that way. Oops, it should be toggle true. No problem. There we go. It's me getting it the wrong way around, forgetting it needs to be set to mute on, not mute on. Cool. Now, one of the things I did do with the code that handles this scaling is what you will find is the bigger the text block, the blurrier it can get. So you see how main is a bit more blurry than metal, how these look more crisp. It's due to that kind of engine issue where it's not actually sure how to render it within the code. I've edited the code to handle bigger text and make it less blurry. Now, granted, it's going to be blurrier on this monitor you're viewing it on, purely because it's 4K as well. So it's contending with that. But if you're on the monitor it's made for, 1920 by 1080p, it shouldn't be as blurry. Now, if it is, I need people to send back feedback. I do have a small monitor I've tested on. I've seen it be fine, but it's one of those where if I don't get feedback on the handling of this page specifically, because this page has got a lot of visual rendering code and a lot of complex stuff going on there, which handling how it renders as it zooms and how it's handling this in general. So there's a lot going on there that can go wrong, and that's why I'm asking for that kind of feedback. But as it progresses, you may notice this get more crisp and clear. This is as crisp and clear as it gets because it's a bold text as is, but you'll see things like January up here and that are a lot more cleaner and clearer. So just food for thought. Anyway, now then, I need to dash something else. Now, I do have on good authority a belief that if I go into core system, and I go to here and I go to the top new resource bar or top bar. Oh, how complex can this get? Oh dear. Oh dear. Oh, there's two things there. That is perplexing. It's the resource bar though. I figured out which one it is. So all I need to do now is company. Nope, hang on. Game save company dot enable. In theory, I've just opened. I've opened a few things there. What if I? Okay, I don't want my editor. I don't want another version of OBS either. Right. So in theory, what we're going to do, we should be able to tweak around with that a little. And we're going to definitely be doing that. So reputation. Add one. If I press save. So we're going to just wackily test this now. What I can see there is it's not working. Great. I had a theory about this because I'd heard about it not working in a test, and I was a bit confused because I believe it should be working. So we go to core. Core is where all the stuff that you never see goes on, and it looks like this, and it's full rendering of everything in one blob. And basically, we have you, and underneath you, we have nothing. And what I'm suspecting is going on here, and I could be wrong, is if we preview core. Okay, so it's actually showing them. Okay, I've moved it for that reason, just to test if it's showing it. I'm going to do the same for map real quick. It's not showing there. So either the map code is absolutely beautifully written, definitely is, and is handling it like a pro, i.e. moving it to where the fuck it should be, which we're going to double check, because it actually should be, in all fairness. Top UI new resource bar. Did we call that? How did that skip naming convention? That is wild. That somehow skipped through the convention check. It's not a big issue, he says. It really is actually a big issue. Great. Looking great. Okay. That's not for this, that's for handling the last played code. Just out of pure curiosity. Do we have anything else that... No, it's literally just that. Oh, balls, it's just set to do that. There we go. Oh. Texas crashed the game. Not sure how. I think it could have been the actual max limit being stupidly high. Oh. I won't lie, that's a bit wild. Okay. Well, let's go back to core for a second. I think we have a little problem there. So inside of base, oh, it's not letting me in here. Top UI, icons and buttons. We have you with this horrible name, and that's it. Okay, that's fine. Put you there. Suspecting it's because it's scaling, it's not fixing to the size it should be. Yeah, it's because it's 4 times there, and then here it's 2. Yeah, you can tell. If I was to press C for center, sorry, X for standard, that's what it should be. And because it's not been working correctly, it's somehow passed the muster very much perfectly. Now, there is a fix for this. I believe if I go into here, I believe it's either in the properties for this, or it's actually part of you. Yeah, repeat borders instead of stretching should be off. Okay. I've just failed a beta project by accident. I'm going to get yelled at later. Right, that's going to need restart. I was going to say, why is it code blank all of a sudden? Right. Okay. It's noticeable. That's my issue with it. There's a definite noticeability. Noticeability? Not really what I'm going to call that. Jesus. It's definitely noticeable. Right. How am I going to go about that? So it's called Top UI New Resource Bar. Make a note of this. So Top UI, I don't know if I want to fix it now later. Let's make a note. Is jittering due to it being a value specific resource bar. And because of this, when zooming in or out, it looks like the value is changing. Got value wrong. Even though it's not. That's my note for it. I'm trying to think how I could even fix that, to be honest with you. There's no real way to fix it. Not sure I'm going to fix that, guys. I'm going to be honest. What if I made a custom size mode for it? Right. And had that custom size mode. I mean, how obvious is it? If I was to go from C to Z, it's quite obvious. And it'd be even worse if it's doing this. Oh wait, hang on, what's that? You see the, because it's, especially because it's scaling. Yeah. So we can't have it curved, is what I'm learning here. It's going to have to be a square one. Actually isn't that bad because what we can do, we can go to the main menu, and this is where this comes in handy. This one is a loading bar. And we've still got U existing, so let's delete that. Loading bar as it is. We're going to use the loading bar for this function instead. It's going to look a little strange. It's not made for this. I'm going to undo for a second. Oh, no. Pause. So you're 162 by 12. Radio. That's fine. So, adjust myself in this chair. I need to go to our Photoshop account real quick. I need to get the asset in question, this one, throw it in there, and I'm just going to edit it to be square on the ends. I know I hate the idea of that. I really do. But I don't have time to sit here and think of other ways of fixing this. Purely because we are so late into development now. This is only just cropped up, and I'm actually annoyed it's only just cropped up, but there's nothing I can do about that. And realistically, I don't want to delay the game any longer just for this. I'm happy delaying things for like quality bits, but this is something I'm going to just fix this way. So we're going to retransform, drag that to the end on both sides. That's going to make it perfectly square. You can see me editing it as it shows up in the game. And do that. Copy and paste. My pasted layer can hippity hoppity over to here. And merge the layers. Flatten the image. Save. How wonderful, eh? as for you, the blacked out one, it's going to be pretty much the same. So, free transform again. Drag you right on across like so. How wonderful that looks, my lovely, lovely, lovely edit. And drag this down to here like so. Move on to this side. Much the same. This is the fastest way to fix this without having to remodel the menu on to be the right thing. Ideally, I wish that was it, but it's because those are small. There we go. Both assets are updated. Now then, let's have a see how it feels this time. So, I've done that. Yeah, because there's no roundness to it. It doesn't look like it's warping as much. It's definitely... There's definitely a 1 pixel issue there. Yeah, you can see that one. There's a 1 pixel issue, but I'm not worrying about that. That will be what it is. If I get a bug report of that pixel, I'm going to lose it. Right. We're going to go to the Well, first, I'm going to rename it. Reputation. Just to check I've spelled that right, because that's spelled right there. Okay. So core system, top nav. None of that's relevant. Core. That's your new name. You're now called Reputation. Okay, I really wish GDev did take it back to that every time I close stuff, because then I'm not leaking. Oh my days. But GDevelop likes to make me leak game ideas. Again, because I can tell it's not showing a value very quickly, so let's do it like so. Again, not showing a value, I'm not sure why. Actually, no, I am sure why, because it won't have registered as an event in core system, the changed event. Even though it should remember that the name's changed and that it was the same thing, it doesn't seem to always do that. Sometimes it does if you change, like, say, set text to this and change the text name. It will sometimes carry over without issue, but other times it just doesn't. It infuriates me. Right. Now, I'm going to keep this open for a second because we're going to tweak something. So we're going to call it its own little bit of a tag. So on the tags, you've got 2 options currently. You've got scale, sorry, you've got 3. Scale, text, scale, and resize. It's currently set to resize. What if I did it to scale? This is just pure curiosity. It might not look good straight away. Run it again. Yeah, scale wouldn't do it. Okay, cool. That's the normal. We're going to make it its own thing. So I'm going to call it reputation. And then we're going to go into the bit of code that handles reputation. Doesn't exist yet, but we're going to make it exist. This little bit of code is called the apply reaction to the instances. And we're looking for, so we got resize, text, scale. Let's just put it straight to resize because I'm trying to work out all the chunk of code here and I'm reading it like, what the hell's doing what here? So just chuck it right here. I'm gonna say after the if, it's pretty much copy and paste, just minus the changes we're about to make. Reputation. Looked at the code. It might immediately have a bit of an issue with it. Yeah, because it needs to relaunch. That's fine. No, it's not fixed at all. Change this. It's pretty much a copy of it, but changing how it's calculating it. Not the correct approach. It's my fault. I think how I want to go about it. One of those things where I'm like trying different approaches, hoping I find the right one. If I change it right to do something similar to how the text scale works, because text scale preserves the way the text looks entirely, no matter how zoomed in it gets, to the point that you would need to record. What's the exact value? To see issues with it, you need a really crappy computer and record a specific amount slowed down to catch the issue, because it's purely dependent on the camera helper tool that we use. It's Ventool's camera XY, width, height, zoom, and then it calculates a few things, and it basically takes that, gets the cache native sizing, which caches all the native sizes of the items on launch of the scene. So basically, the normal zoom height. It saves that, and then it uses the apply reaction to the instances, meaning apply how it should look when it changes based off these two things. And what it should be doing, and I'll stand corrected if I'm wrong. Oh my God. Is the same as if it was text, right? I'm looking for the apply react to instance part now, and I cannot see it. It's annoying me. React. Where is it? Ah, here we are. Line 487. Okay, so that actually feels like it's trying to. Oh no. There's an obvious wobble there. Um, if I change this, it's purely dependent also on the simulation in this. It could be perfectly fine outside of this because this only uses limited resources because of how GDOT works in the preview mode compared to exported and running natively. If you run it natively for Electron, it has access to full resources. When you're running in here, it's very much limited to a few factors, and that is part of the issue. Now, I could be wrong. Hmm. Is there any other way we can do this? It also looks a bit off kilter. I can't tell if that. 1 minute. Let's take a screenshot. Let's count the pixels. Bear with me. I just need to count the gap to see if the gap is presently correct. Yeah, it's correct. Okay. Well, we're going to try one more change. I'm going to try two things now. I'm going to try by changing the priority of the ordering. Basically how fast it does the change. And I'm also going to try by changing how it scales it briefly. When it does this, I'm trying to scroll some and I flick so fast it moves me down to the next block of code. I wish to run it again. Getting annoyed. Stop doing that. Wish there was a better way. Okay. That's broken it. That's dumb. Okay, hang on. Oh, I've just again opened my video editing software. Okay, let's close this, preview it again. Let's see how broken it is when we preview. It could be that it's cached the wrong thing because obviously. Oh, are we stuck in a preview lock? We're stuck in. There we go. I did not like how long that took. Yeah, no. Hmm. Out of curiosity though, did I fix the first issue? I guess technically it's not doing the first issue. This is yeah. I go to, let's see, that's Z, that's X. X is actually correctly lined up, so it's not an error per se on the scaler. It's the change. It's basically everything the scale would do. Right, let's think about this again. So the const is 0.25 for the min factor. Camera help is just getting the cached information, so that's not necessarily the issue. It's caching per instance for the native size, that's fine. And then it applies it. So when it goes to apply, it's checking what size mode. It's saying size reputation. And then it's getting that function. It's basically then doing the max of one math floor by the height width unit plus 2.5. Same for the width. And then it sets it to the stable width, stable height. And then that should be it. That's all it's pretty much doing. Basically changing the formula. That's literally I've just read out what I'm changing. So previously it was pretty much the same as scale, and we saw how scale handled it. Now I will note it was perfectly fine before my changes. That's the thing with programming things like this. I've now got bogged down fixing a reputation thing just to try and be a bit more perfect than fixing, you know, other stuff. Although that said, all I've got to do for the build thing to now work, all the mechanics in the background work, and I don't want to have to click in and be like, edit. I mean, what's this actually set to? It's an empty lot because there's no text value, but this is in the data, it has an item here, and you're seeing the stupid values I put there early on. I can pause, I can resume, I can deconstruct, and then here I can construct. This is an empty lot. It's an actual empty lot because it's set to be empty. This is empty because it's got values to change to, so that's on me. Let me try some. What if I was to do this? I hate that even more. I feel like it made it worse. Although it is stable, it's like that's not, you know, I don't know how it will handle if I was to be. It's just looking like it's wobbling. Right. Oh, wait. Is it using rounded or is it using solid numbers? It's rounding. It's rounding. Okay. Right. Divide 2 plus 0.5. Ah, I see. Yeah, I can see how that could cause an issue or two. Okay. So we're just going to tweak the maths on this. I reckon it's mathematical, our issue, and not anything else. If it is mathematical, though, I'll be pleased. Oh, wait. Yeah, I'm editing the right thing. What am I doing? Why does that not feel like I'm editing the right thing, though? Just doesn't feel like I'm editing the correct thing. Okay, hang on. This is definitely broken now. Yeah, I know why. Right. I was right about the rounding issue. I'm wrong about how I'm editing the part. Right. I just need to change these two lines. The dividing by 4 by 4, so times 4 divided 4. Save that, run that. Take two pictures a second. Let's just see how much of a difference we're actually seeing there. That's image 1, and then we'll do image 2, zoom to 0.5. I should probably take it again because it wasn't stationary, to be fair enough. And now the mouse is in the way. Hang on. Take it again because I've lost that image. I'm an idiot. So basically that's the best we can fix it to, guys. It's not ideal. Don't get me wrong. But once it gets stationary from the looks of it, it stabilizes out. Right. So, oh. This has been happening a lot lately. Yeah, the preview is actually unresponsive. What it is, because it wasn't showing up in here. That actually could be a legitimate bug. However, in testing, it's never shown up before. So let's do a profiler. To start that, I am just gonna do some crazy shit. Look around. Kind of stress it to see if anything occurs. No, I bet the profile is going to say good figures too. Yep, all standard figures. 5.25 is literally the normal number I get no matter what I'm making, so that makes sense. I don't know what that profiler issue is then. Not profile, the build issues. What is the exact name of the actual resource code? Bear with me, I'm just kind of curious. The built-in feature, what am I doing on there for? I've an idea. What if, and this is me going off the batshit train here, it's something to do with the camera code. And what if we just take it out for a second? And obviously taking it out of the code is gonna disable it. No easier to word it, it's gonna disable it. So where is it? Here it is. I don't. And then make it its own funk. This gonna look goofy, isn't it? Yeah, I figured. After every time I open in Wonder, yeah, every time I go to right. You've been hit by. Yeah. Problem. If I go onto any of these other pages, am I gonna have it not be there because of this? Why is that one page always doing the animation? Okay. Hmm. It's always like trying to think of a solution to this problem, and it's not an easy fix, in my opinion. Hmm. Making its own little thing on comments about just made it whiz around because it doesn't use the camera logic. So basically, we're stuck to camera logic because if we don't use camera logic, it whizzes around like a loony. If we do use camera logic, we get a very tiny jitter. And if we don't do anything, I don't know how many bug reports / OCD people are going to complain. Because I'm one of them. Just for the camera's knowledge, not camera, for the stream's knowledge, I am standing up right now stretching because I want to move around and I am getting leg cramps. So and I'm getting some Piriton because, you know, I need Piriton. Did I really just open that with one? No, no, there we go. I did open it. Now it's sticky. That stuff is way crazy. I'll put my hands up quickly, guys. Okay. I'm going to try one more change to this whole thing. I'm going to hate it. I'm telling you now. But if this fixes it, it's going to annoy me. It's like a purely mathematical problem, this. That's my issue with it. And with it being maths related, I got to think of mathematical solutions. Alter the way it's rendered. Let me make it so it does this. Okay. Problem now is it's running on two sets of code. One set of code is not running anything because it's commented out. The other set is managing it like that. I see it in OBS, and I think the issue there is it has no native cache for it, so the native cache is the last state it was just in. No, the math broke again. Hmm. Sometimes these are the things you just don't try and fix. And I'm getting to that point where it's going to be that kind of question. Do we fix it or do we not? Also, I noticed that the underlay has the old one. That's going to be annoying to edit that. I'm going to hate it. Gotta fix that later then. Or do I actually? Because in theory, it's not really visible, is it? Realistically speaking. Ah, ha, 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 ha. No, wait. What we can do is we can have a layer on top that has the ring, the outskirts thing, so that when... Oh, how did we get that outside view? Wild. To be fair, I do need to speak to the artist and get a even bigger chunk made outside the map. Get all the camera of Mexico basically drawn up. And some ocean area, but I haven't heard anything from her in a while now. I'm not sure where she's gone. Message back lately and I missed it. She has message back, okay. Okay, now it's being funny about her plot, which is doing nothing. It's being strange. You're joking me. It hasn't act. This is why I hear about these freelancing services that we use to communicate. I don't have to go manually message her. Purely because of some technical issue. Because I mean we correspond through Fiverr mainly because it's complex, but I'm gonna go back to Instagram, message her directly, and be like, yo, don't know what's wrong with your Fiverr, but we're gonna have to do this ourselves because clearly we literally use Fiverr as like a guarantor for both of us so that she knows she gets paid and I know I get content and there's no issue there. And yeah. Okay, well, we are going to wrap up in a few minutes because I need to disappear shortly. Let me just message my very poor artist that's having hell right now. What was the thing again? Oh, yeah. I was just being stupid. Copy link. Some of this. Then we're going to wrap up for the day. I'll have to be somewhere else shortly. I want to get food before I have to go there. Okay. Right. The fact that I'm having to have this fun now. Insane. Also, the fact that Instagram isn't just like popping up straight away, and I gotta manually do that. Open it up. There we go. I don't want to email her. Emailing is a nightmare its own right. I can't even spell right now. This is annoying. Oh, right. Mm. Okay, guys. So, with that said, I am disappearing now. Thank you for watching. Hope you enjoyed. If you did, feel free to let me know, and we will see you another time.